Well guys, this was going to be another repair video, but this was another thing that I lost most of the footage to, along with a lot of the repair footage on those two Acer monitors that I had uploaded a video of just before this. But this was sent in by a viewer of mine along with the smaller of those two Acer monitors, and they said that it was stuck in standby, it wouldn't turn on, and they found out if you would disconnect the backlight inverter from the power supply, then it would come on and you could see things on the screen despite the backlight not being on. So I knew that the inverter was at fault, and it was quite an involved process to actually get that thing out of there with how difficult this TV is to disassemble. And I did the repair tonight and then got some footage of that. It was a pretty basic repair. I think I spent much more time trying to reassemble everything than I did actually fixing the doggone thing. It was all taken apart when I got it. The screws were just in a little plastic bag, and it was kind of wrapped in plastic and being held together. But it's all back together now and working. I don't think I have the remote for it though, so I haven't been able to set it up for my cable TV properly yet. But at least it's back up and running, so I'll throw in the quick little repair and reassembly video. So you guys basically get to watch this in reverse. It's already fixed, and this is the beginning of the video and the end of the video all in one. Let's see here. Only a few buttons on the side of this, so I can't really do a whole lot, but so far it's working fine. I've planned to hopefully use this as a bedroom TV for somebody, and I'm sure we'll get some use out of it. So, and it's also one of the heaviest TVs I think I've ever worked on that was this small. Part of the weight comes from that DVD player, but this thing has a lot of steel plating inside it, and it's just really heavy for a TV this size. And also very sturdy. It doesn't wiggle on the stand or anything because it's just a big giant metal plate inside, and you'll get to see that in the next few segments here. But hopefully no more footage is going to get lost on future projects. I'll just have to be more careful with what's on my camera card before I go and erase it like I did last time. The worst part of this TV by far is the way that it's put together. It's very difficult to disassemble and reassemble, especially the speaker cable, because it has to go between the LCD and the main bracket, and also has to have this metal plate in there, and then the cable has to come up through one of these holes, go around and plug into this connector up here. And the only way to really run that wire through there is to remove the screen from the bracket, but then it's hanging by the LVDS cable and the backlight cables over here where the inverter is. So that's going to take me a bit to get this back in here. Well, I've got the inverter up here, and like I suspected, both of these MOSFETs are shorted, which explains why it was dragging down the power supply for the TV. And the original ones are part number AOD 444. Those cross-reference to a STD 16N F06 LT4. They're 16 amp 60 volt MOSFETs. And this chip here is what actually drives these, and there's a good chance that this is bad too, and it'll probably just blow the new ones when I get them replaced. But unfortunately I can't find any of these chips. I may be able to in the future, but I'm still going to try replacing these, and if it blows them out, I have an extra pair, and the next time around I'll try to get one of these chips. But in order to get these off of the board, I'm going to make it easy. Since these are shorted, I'm just going to clip the leads off right at the body of the transistor, and then use the soldering iron to heat the rest of it from this tab right here, and it should lift right off. And then from that point it's easy to remove what's left of those legs. And I've got the old ones removed, and what I like to do to attach the new ones is remove all the old solder and then put a little bit of fresh solder on that small pad there at the top and a very thin layer under the main, where the main tab would go, and go over the whole thing with a rosin flux pen. And then once you lay it on there, you can use that corner lead to kind of tack it in place, and then from there go through and flow the solder through the rest of the joints, and it will be attached just like it would have been from the factory for the most part. Alright, I've got the new MOSFETs installed. I don't like working with surface mount stuff that much, but that wasn't too bad. Also went ahead and replaced the generic capacitor that was on there with a Panasonic FM series. Just in case this does work, I don't want to have to ever take this back out to replace that cap, because this inverter is very difficult to access. Before I get too carried away with putting this back together and hooking up the speakers and all that stuff, I'm going to try to power it up. Let's hope for the best here. Ooh, sweet, I see a picture. Oh, the backlight's working. That's sweet. I think I'll leave it running like this for a minute before I put everything else back in case the inverter decides to take a crap again. And we'll follow up in a couple of minutes. I'd say out of all the TVs and monitors I've ever worked on, this was by far the most difficult to reassemble, with how everything has to be done in layers in the exact order and cables routed in the exact places where they need to be. But I'm at a point where I'm ready to power this up with everything almost fully assembled. But I've got to flip it over because I can't do this with one hand. I'm going to test the DVD player and see what it does. If I can figure out how to... There we go. I think I might have put it in backwards actually. Find out in a minute. Oh, it sounds like it's loading. Sweet. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, this is very difficult without the remote control. I'll have to find a universal one that works. Let's see, what are the buttons on this? It's a noisy optical drive. If I haven't used a DVD in ages, it's weird seeing such a low resolution video after all this time. I've been so used to Blu-rays. But I'm going to put this the rest of the way back together. I can't actually use it very comfortably like this.